took off my t-shirt, and there were a few other soldiers took their t-shirt off and just raised it, and they stopped fire, and then we very slowly started to stand up one at a time, very scary and shaky. And then they surrounded us. They took us down of the bunker. They put us on the ground, and then they start search one at a time. You know, they took the wallet, they took the watches, and they just clean us from all the paper. And then after they finish clean us, they tied us with. And the cover story I decided to stick to was that I was in charge of the supply for the Air Force unit in there, because all the papers that I thought they'll find there will have my signature. So I figured out it would be a good cover story to tell them that I was the supply sergeant, and I was in charge of it. And you know, once you find the paper, you know, you see my signature, you see my name. And whenever they started to kind of interrogate us, I told them that I was in charge of it. Of course, at the time I couldn't even say supply. And I didn't know how to describe this, so I tried to tell them in my broken English what I was doing there, and they did not understand. But the funny thing about it, and it was funny even then, that I tried to explain to them what I was doing, and they didn't understand. They kept repeating the question over and over. And then the next guy to me, which I don't know to this day who he was, explained to them exactly word by word what I said, and all of a sudden this guy said, "Oh, okay, I understand." They call my name, they take me to interrogate me. Of course, when they took me out this room, they cover my head, they put the army boots on my feet, Syrian army boots on my feet, and they take me and they put me in a room. And of course, by that time, I know what to expect, because this guy kind of recovered and he tells us everything that happened to him, what they did to him. And I go to this room, and there are three people, the interrogator, sit in front of me. They all speak fluent Hebrew, no English, no nonsense, nothing. They speak fluent Hebrew, and I understand that that's a real thing. Now they are going to ask me a question, and I'm supposed to give them an answer. And in the corner of the room, I see all the tools that they use on this other guy. Everything, just so I can see it very clear. And they start asking me a question, and I start giving them an answer. I was not in charge of the supply anymore, and try to hide what the part information that they know, because once I tell them some information, they probably want to know more. And if I don't tell them, all the tools are in the corner of the room. They are going to use them on me. I had no doubt about it, and it was a big struggle when to tell them, what to tell them about this stuff. And I stuck to my not knowing answer. I told them that I don't know. And fortunately enough for me, they believed me, I guess, because that's that war. One of the way we got some information is that soldiers that were captured later during the war, they could tell us a bit more about what happened, because we knew nothing. For all we know is, there was no Hermon, there was no place where we were captured, and they probably could go forever. Soldiers that were captured a week later, 2 weeks later, told us that they were stopped here, and they almost captured the old Golan Heights, and they couldn't tell us much about what happened in Sinai, but there were a few that knew more or less. One of the first information that we got about war was that, and I didn't mention it before, I'll mention it now. The first time they took us to have a shower was, I think, maybe 40 days after we were captured.